Philippe Chatrier Court at Roland Garros Stadium, just outside Paris, just to the west of Paris, outside the city gates in the suburb of Boulogne-Billancourt. It is the home of clay court tennis. It's been the home of Olympic and Paralympic tennis, and we are going to finish with a bang. It is the final match of wheelchair tennis at the Paralympics Paris 2024. It's the men's singles final, and it could not be better teed up. Number 2 seed versus number 1 seed. Oda Tokito versus Alfie Hewitt. And the bronze medal match, which saw a first ever medal for an Argentinian player, Gustavo Fernandez, the number 4 seed, defeating Martin de la Fuente of Spain 6-1, 6-2. So we had number 3 versus number 4 in the bronze medal match, and now we're going to have number 1 versus number 2 in the gold medal match. My name's Drew Lilly. Alongside me I have Paul Walker, and there are times when you think it would be nice for a little upset here or there, but if you're going to have the top 4 on the final day, then that's pretty much what you're aiming for at the peak of the sport.
Well, we're getting a look here at the introductions of that man right there, 18 years old, the new kid on the block, Oda Tokito from Japan. We'll get into all the accolades, all the superlatives about these two players. We'll just let this introduction run its course here as these players get introduced to this robust crowd here on Philippe Chatrier.
An 18-year-old taking on a 26-year-old in a sport that's long been dominated by veterans. This is a very youthful final between the world number 1 and the world number 2. Oda, the youngest ever world number 1 when he acceded to that ranking, the age of 17. He's number 2 now, behind this man here, Alfie Hewitt.
And I think back to when Oda ascended to world number 1 in June of 2023. And honestly, about over a year ago, I think this match was destined to happen. These two have been back and forth at the number 1 and number 2 positions in the world, pretty much seesawing almost every week in the rankings. Check the weekly rankings as they come updated on the ITF site, and it's one of these two guys. So they've been destined for this moment. They are both really hungry for this gold medal. They'll be the first leader one. First Olympic Games for Oda. He had his sights set on these games. And when he was 15 years old and looked and said, you know what, I'll be 18 come Paris, and I'll be ready for that. And here he is.
This has been a short Paralympic cycle, just 3 years.
Yeah, the normal 4-year cycle shortened a little bit as the 2020 Tokyo Games actually took place in 2021. So that's the reference there as to why this is a shorter cycle. Only 4 years. We get into that pattern, but both of these guys have been eyeballing this moment for the 3 years since Tokyo. It's Oda who's looking to replace the champion in Tokyo, the legendary Shingo Kunieda, who won on home soil, set the stage for really what is the greatness of wheelchair tennis. He is the marquee man. But both of these guys have now set their sights on chasing the achievements of Kunieda.
Kunieda, who did the coup de baton a little bit earlier. He opened proceedings for this final session. He's the one who came out and gave the 3 bangs of the stick to say, ladies and gentlemen, take your seats. The entertainment is going to get underway. Wonderful to see him out here. Kunieda Shinigo, who won in 2008, 2012 and 2021 for Tokyo 2020. In between times, Alfie Hewitt could have got his could have got himself on the top step of the podium, but lost to Gordon Reid, his longtime doubles partner. So Alfie Hewitt still looking for his first Paralympic gold medal in singles.
Yeah, you look back to 2016 in that gold medal match. I don't know that anybody expected a young Alfie Hewitt to be in there, and now here Oda at a similar age on the stage.
As usual, 25 seconds when I call the score, please take a look at the time running on the bottom of the two scoreboards on board. Play. If you want me to check the mark, stop straight away, clear away, and make sure it's very clear because it's going to be noisy, and I'll check the mark. Towel boxes, again, one on every corner. Takiti, you're going to have the buck with a pink sticker on it. I'll put the blue one for you. Gentlemen, do you have any questions? No? All right, guys, as usual, we have the Paris or tennis. Takito, your choice. Paris or tennis? Tennis. Tennis, Paris for you, Alfred. Paris, your choice, Alfred. Receive. Receive. That side? All right, have a good match.
The call from Oda was for tennis, but Paris was what came up. And so that meant that Alfie Hewitt could elect to serve or receive, and he's elected to receive, which is not uncommon in wheelchair tennis, not uncommon at all.
I think I've seen probably 90% of the coin tosses go that way here in these Paralympic Games, as is often the case. The returner with some little bit of an advantage in the game, not unlike the able-bodied game where the servers dominate. And here in wheelchair tennis, slight advantage sometimes for those returners. They get moving in that server at the baseline and take charge of a lot of points. But both of these guys know how to take care of their business, whether it's returning or serving. Complete players, both all-court players. As aggressive as Hewitt is, you might see a more aggressive Oda. He just looks to press the action from the start to finish any aspect of the game. Making this to one of the great matchups of the old king of the clay himself, Rafa Nadal, the left-hander, versus maybe a Federer here at Roland Garros. Great left-handed to right-handed matchup. Makes things intriguing.
See plenty of fans here. They came in earlier for the bronze medal match, and they're obviously sticking around for the gold medal match as well. We had an opening of the roof in between times because the weather's got a fair bit better. It was raining earlier, and Philippe Chatrier Court has had a roof for the past 5 years or so now. Suzanne Lenglen Court, the second show court, also has a roof. So that's meant that even though there's been a fair bit of rain throughout the week, throughout the 9 days that we've been playing the Paralympic wheelchair tennis tournament, we've been able to get through the 6 different competitions, men's and women's singles and doubles, and then the quad singles and doubles. And it's all peaking with this match, Alfie Hewitt, world number 1, against Oda Tokito, world number 2.
Yeah, I know you. I'm sorry to interrupt there, Drew, but I know you were on that bronze medal call, and I just wanted to shout out to Gustavo Fernandez for that great performance in that bronze medal match. He's been a long time stalwart on the tour. He earned that bronze medal. I know he's proud for that moment. What a great moment that was for him, and young Martin de la Puente making his first appearance in a medal match also. A great future for him.
Speaking of Gustavo Fernandez, he pushed Oda all the way in the semi-final. You can see that Ben Bartram actually pushed the youngster. Got a bye through the first round because he's number 2 seed. Then defeated Bartram, Daniel Rodriguez, Tom Ekberink. And then that semi-final leg, it was a tough one against Gustavo Fernandez, 6-2, 7-5, a very tight second set for Oda. Got a little bit loose towards the end, but got it over the line. It took an hour and a half, and I think the fact that Fernandez, such an experienced campaigner, he waited it out, and he waited for Oda to make a few mistakes, which is what came during the second set. But obviously he's got that much flair, has Oda, and we'll see that during this match, that he had enough winners in his back pocket to get it over the line in straight sets. So 4 rounds, 4 straight set wins for Oda.
Yeah, that set was 5-all there in the second, and really looking like Fernandez might have been able to take that one to 3, which would have been interesting, but Oda, with flair, as you mentioned, able to close it out in straights.
Alfie Hewitt's obviously got a bye as well in the first round. Sergei Lysov seen off for the loss of just 1 game in the second. Arai Daisuke, the number 16 seed, 7-5, 6-2. That was a close one. And then cruised more or less past Ruben Spargaren in the quarterfinals, and then made very, very light work of Martin de la Fuente in the semis. Took barely over an hour to see him off. So in terms of the semi-finals, how they got there over the last couple of days, Hewitt, you would say, with the wind in his sails.
Yeah, he's really kind of starting to peak here at the right moment, and this is the time when you want to be the freshest, strongest, and most focused. And boy, since the outset here, there is a look on his face that is nothing but focus and determination. This is what it is all about for him, as he's going for that career Golden Slam.
Career Golden Slam in the singles, and of course he's also managed to get that in the doubles.
Well, that one was long overdue, as they were on the precipice there, both in Rio and in Tokyo, and really both just devastating losses for Team Britain there in both of those, losing to the French, the great team of Houdet and Pfeiffer, having won both of those medals in Rio and Tokyo, but Reed and Hewitt closing it out, clearly the best doubles team in the world, and they made short work yesterday of the team of Japan, and they sealed that deal rather convincingly.
Luca Laughero is the man in the chair today. He'll occasionally come down if either of the players wants him to have a look at a mark. Roland Garros is the home of clay court tennis, and that means that there is no electronic line calling. You'll see the line judges, you'll hear them as well, and every so often the players will point to a mark and say, I think that call was not quite correct, and obviously depends on which mark they're looking at, if it was a ball that was hit just a second ago, or if they've managed to find a mark that they've decided is a convenient one, and I'm going to use that one and use that one for a query.
A little bit of witchcraft going on inside the clay court stadiums when people are looking for marks, trying to convince the official, no, it's that one, when the official's clearly determined it's that. Yeah, always interesting to watch that exchange between the linesman, official, and the players.
For the players, when it's, it was out, it's that one there, and it was so out, then I'm going to brush it away, and you can't see it anymore. So, but I'm sure we'll have none of that. So the players about to get underway. We've had the 5-minute warm-up, and the 5-minute warm-up counts as 2 games. Why am I telling you that? Well, we change balls every 9 games. So 2 games already in the bank as far as the balls are concerned. And that means that we will change after 7 games, and then every 9 games after that. New balls fly through the air a little bit more quickly. The more you hit the ball, the fuzzier and fluffier it gets, and it won't quite fly through the air as quickly.
These guys will be ripping the felt off those Dunlop Paris 2024 balls. We'll start with Oda on the serve. He's dynamic. I mentioned it, use the word flair, and he has it. He's only 18, but he brings it. All court, dynamic, complete game. Saw him 2 years ago for the first time live, and I was impressed with how mature his game is. You'll see it on display here shortly.
Oda, top of your screen, the lefty getting us underway.
Not surprisingly, Oda inside the baseline, almost approaching the service line there, as he is constantly pushing into the court on the attack.
Ideally, what you want to do when you're serving is dominate it with the 3rd ball of the rally. The service is to set it up, and then the 3rd ball dictates the way the rally's going to go, and the rally didn't go very far there at all. A winner.
Yeah, the
proverbial +1, as they say. And that was beautifully executed by Oda. A lot of times we expect longer points here on the clay, but with these two players and their firepower, they're looking to do damage early in the points, both of them.
Could see Hewitt coming in there on the second service, but not quite the depth he needed on the return, and that set up nicely for Oda.
Yeah, had a lot of court to work with there. Kind of just blocked that one back. Didn't get much behind it. Oda sitting on that forehand.
.46 kilometers per hour. He can ramp it up to over 150. Maybe we'll see that later. Great return from Hewitt right at the wheels of his opponent.
Yeah, with that one, he got a little bit more behind it, tied Oda up, able to force Oda in a defensive position. He taking up a spot all the way in the back wall there. Not able to track that last ball down. These guys will use every inch of this stadium court here.
Absolutely huge runoff areas behind the baselines, as you can see there. Oda taking the ball so early on the rise, taking all the time away from Hewitt.
Yeah, by all accounts, you'd be like, he's not in a good position. Hewitt not doing enough with that ball, but he's dictating from just well inside the baseline. It's one thing to get a step or two in, but he's up there near the service line. Just different level there.
Well, if you're going to come in and sit on the service tee, then you may get broken, as we see the player that Oda is trying to emulate, the winner of the women's singles.
Meiji Yui of Japan put on a show yesterday, dethroning Dida de Groot from the Netherlands, as she was in an attempt to back-to-back gold medals, having won in Tokyo. Not yesterday, it was Meiji.
A wince there from Alfie Hewitt, and that's not what you want to see in the opening game of the final.
No, picked up on that exactly, just like you said. I don't know if it was from the strike of this one or had that happened earlier. Pretty intense wince, too. That's an oblique issue or something in the hip.
Oh, we're going to be keeping a very watchful eye on him. He doesn't look too bad here. It wasn't a look of surprise or sudden. It was a real wince. Back to Deuce.
If this first game is any indication of how this match is going to go, it's going to be a prize fight late in the rounds.
Took a lot off it there, 102 kilometers per hour, but a lot of kick on the service, sitting up very high.
Yeah, Hewitt been going deep to the middle on most of his returns. Looked to kind of go with a little angle shot there. couldn't produce, finds the net. And now another chance for Oda to get a quick hold here.
Beautiful backhands down the line.
Yeah, that was deep second serve there from Oda, but Hewitt sitting on that backhand, and he's got the firepower of both wings, able to redirect up the line comfortably right there.
Some great service returning from Hewitt. Obviously, wheelchair tennis, it's very difficult when you're serving to then get yourself into motion to go along the baseline or back to try to cover the baseline. So service return, if you can go straight down the line, you're taking it straight away from your opponent.
Oda right there, returning the favor, taking one right up the middle, tying Hewitt up. Another one of the great strategies. Hewitt hard on the recovery, looking to get court. Ball coming right at him, can't come out of that recovery quick enough. Late on the backhand.
There's the +1 that dictates.
Early going, it looks like Hewitt prefers to attack the Oda forehand. Maybe that's why. A good look at that backhand, which has been crisp so far. Got a good look at that backhand right there. And they go behind Hewitt up the line that time, just a little long.
Clouds in the sky, but no rain forecast, so the roof has been opened up. Down the tee. Alfie Hewitt's going to have a look at that. 148 kilometers per hour down the tee. He's having a good look at it, trying to work out which mark was which, but either way it was called in. It's an ace, the first of the contest.
That's a problem right there, 148 on the line.
And finally, we have the hold. Oda gets his name on the score sheet first up. Well, I think we've had about half a set's worth of tennis there, so should we call it 3-2?
Only 16 points to get there. Thinking he might be calling for a physio. Yep. Here, hearing. He's concerned. Sorry. Picking up the mics there, talking about it. Got a problem, and I'm concerned.
We saw it around the first juice. There were quite a few juices.
About 8 points ago.
Yeah.
Oh, this is not what we want to see early going here of this gold medal match. Alfie Hewitt calling for the physio.
It was a real wince of pain. It was a very sharp pain, obviously. We saw it on his face.
Yeah, almost makes you think it was maybe some sort of a pulled muscle or something. That, again, I'm thinking maybe oblique. Hard to speculate, but so much trunk rotation that goes on from these players. Core strength is such an important part of their games. If something's not going right in that area, that will be a big concern for any player.
Well, out comes the physio, and we will try to listen in to see exactly what Hewitt says.
Toward left side.
Off he goes for some treatment.
Yeah, I think the area that we're talking about needs some privacy. And go get on a table, allow the physio to do some evaluations.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Alfie Hughes is now leaving the board to receive the medical timeout.
Block on that one.
Tough for Oda. Came out and had a warm-up. He had the 5-minute warm-up. Obviously, they'll be warming up either this morning or early this afternoon. And the good thing is he's allowed to go over and have a chat with his entourage, with his coach. He's got his coaching staff over there. Inaba Yosuke and Kumada Hiroya out there. And I presume their task is going to be to try to keep him. He's 18 years old. He's in his first Paralympic final. He's got himself on the board, and then all of a sudden it's, right, hang around for another 10 or 15 minutes, cool your jets.
I agree with you, but I got to tell you, this kid is something. He's mature beyond his 18 years. I mean, he's already a 4-time Grand Slam winner, and he doesn't act like a typical 18-year-old. His maturity of his game and the maturity of his presence belies his 18 years. So he looks as chill as the other side of the pillow, to use that cliche phrase Stuart Scott, ESPN, made so famous. These are always tough positions for the person not getting the treatment to be in, to just sit, contemplate.
Yes, slightly frustrating and nervous times for Oda, but who knows what Alfie Hewitt is currently going through. Around 8 points into a Paralympic final where you're the #1 seed, you've made it all the way there, and you've deserved to be there, you've deserved to be the favourite. Just making sure that there wasn't anything being explained there, but no, it's just the stadium announcer trying to get everybody, trying to keep the fans in the stadium from getting too antsy, regardless of how Oda and Hewitt are doing. But Hewitt, yes, this is him peaking, winning the doubles, and he's in the final of the singles. He has shown that he deserves to be #1 in the world, and then 8 points in, all of a sudden, we're guessing it's a stomach muscle issue, and agonizing for him. We'll find out when he comes back out. Hopefully he is going to come back out, but well,
you know, if he does come out and he's able to continue, you have to wonder how much he continues to be concerned about it. Does he still feel it? Is he wondering, am I continuing to do more damage? You know, what's the impact that it has on how he's able to proceed and commit, which is what he's going to have to do to win a match like this, is have full commitment. If you're doubting any aspect of your physicality, just like if you were doubting any of your mentality, it's just not a good position to be in during a gold medal match. And so this is concerning here for Alfie.
it is. Does he think to himself, right, I can push through for 2-3 sets because that's all I've got. There's no US Open this year because we're playing at the same time as the US Open, so it's more or less the end of the season. There's obviously a fair bit still to come, but this is what he will have been working towards to try to peak at. And do you think to yourself, well, I'm just going to push on through? That's probably what you think on the one hand, but on the other hand, as you say, if there's something wrong with your core, your upper body, that's so important in wheelchair tennis, and you're going to think about it on every shot you play.
Well, if there's any bit of a chance, I'm going to tell you right now, knowing the competitor that Alfie Hewitt is, the 9-time Grand So he wants to pronounce himself king of the clay. He's doing the elbow, the
That's
wrist.
my elbow again.
Right.
That's my shoulder again.
Same old,
yeah.
same old, but that
Yeah.
one looked like something new.
And
Special.
you've done it before, and you think, I've tweaked it. Oh, this one's a don't play for a week. This one, oh, I'm in trouble. Right, so we're back underway. No warm-up. Here we go.
Talked about how aggressive Ota is. You will see it on display in the return of serve game. He is going to be well inside the baseline, almost approaching that service line on occasions. It's crazy how deep he gets in on the return.
And the more he comes in, the more Alfie Hewitt thinks, well, I'd better hit a deep one on my second service, and it ends up being too deep.
It's almost a Federer-like saber move. It's like really uncanny how early he takes it and just puts the pressure on.
Yeah, it's a sabot. It's sneak attack by Ota, but it's no real sneak, is it? You know full well he's going to come in, and he's set up 3 break points.
Yeah, I think that's almost worse, that you know he's coming every time. It's in your head all the time. Doesn't just surprise you once in a while.
And there is a break to love. Ominous for Alfie Hewitt. 10-minute break for the medical timeout. And who knows, obviously we're speculating here, but is it a case of, well, I'll go out and see how it goes for a game or two? And
I haven't seen any real indications of anything after that significant wince there from that, whatever it was. Doesn't look like he's grimacing as he swings now or anything like that, but no doubt it's still something that's in his head.
be that as it may, Ota has a break and a hold. 2-love. Hewitt the one coming in early there.
Well, he's no stranger to aggressive play himself. It's just a different level of aggression. Oda probably at a 10. Hewitt just slightly below, maybe at a 9. So these guys both know how to put the pressure on opponents.
And there's the pressure. It's a double fault.
And both of these players put such a premium on that intense, relentless pressure, just the weight of it that kind of accumulates over the course of a match. Part of not allowing any of your opponents to ever really feel comfortable, not a moment of comfort.
Looking very comfortable there, Oda. Took that one early.
Three buckets I like to address with players: technical, tactical, and practical. And this guy has got all of them in order. He's technically really sound, tactically smart, and practically knows how to play the game. It's impressive.
So love 30 suddenly becomes 40-30 after 3 very strong services. Aggression from Hewitt, but it doesn't pay off, and that's a big hold for Oda. Hold, break, hold, and he leads 3-love. It's a quick 2-minute change of ends. No hanging around here. We've had plenty of ado. Not that it was much ado about nothing. It was much ado about quite a lot. Alfie Hewitt with a medical timeout. He was off court for the best part of a quarter of an hour, having an issue addressed that we don't know the details about, but the details that we do know is that Oda Tokito, the number 2 seed, he leads 3 games to love.
That head shake there from Alfie Hewitt, hoping to see a little gap between the line and Clay, but not getting it.
That looked, until it landed, it looked out. It was out until it landed, and then it was in.
Onslaught here from Oda on the return game continues. Dominated the first Hewitt service game, and he is taking no prisoners here in this second game.
that's the problem. Love 15, love 30. It was 2 service return winners from Oda coming right in, pushing in and taking the ball so early. So you try to hit it as deep as you can. You end up serving a double fault, 3 break points.
There's no worse feeling in tennis. We talked about the advantage or somewhat advantage that the returner has when you're in control of that serve and yet you're just getting bullied around the court by the returner. It is a terrible feeling, and Alfie Hewitt's going to have to figure something out here on these service games.
It's another break for Oda, and he leads 4 games to love. Clinical efficiency at the moment. Difficult for Hewitt as well, particularly on service, if he is impinged some way in his upper body. It's so important to get in motion after you've served, after you've been almost stock still. And you can see him there shrugging his shoulders as he looks at his entourage.
Again, that's that kind of helpless feeling, like I don't know what to do here. And for a player of his caliber to be in that state of mind, that's a problem. I mean, these are uncharted territories for players like this, at this level, to be in a state like that.
It should be the other way around. When you're number 1 in the world, when you're Alfie Hewitt, you expect to be 4 love up and maybe thinking, shall I have a little bit of pity on my opponent? And then dismissing that thought from your mind. Whereas here, the shoe's on the other foot. Creeps over. He'll take anything he can get at the moment, Hewitt.
You're right, Drew.
Yeah.
He will any little bit. It's a funny sport. You never know when it's going to turn.
Come on, you can give me that one. I'm injured. I'm 4 love down. You'll allow me that one, surely.
Thank you.
Plenty of Hewitt fans in the crowd getting behind him.
Yeah, you never know what it's going to take to get you ignited. Maybe it's a let cord winner. Excuse me, winner. And Hewitt does a nice job of following it up with a great return there. Just looking for any little bit of momentum. Tough for him to string together points. It's desperately what he needs right now.
Oda goes back to dictating with the +1.
Rolls in cleanly, not stressed there, doesn't need to go big, doesn't need to go close to the line. The time that he takes away is the weapon.
That's a perfect return. It's set up nicely for him. The service 156 kilometers per hour. And then Hewitt using the speed to set up his first break points.
Oh, nice deep serve. I mean, by all accounts, Oda would say, I'll take that serve, but he would handle it comfortably.
How about that? He does indeed break back. He gets one of the breaks back. Hewitt on the board, but Oda leads 4 games to 1.
Opportunity to get merchandise, official merchandise on the Paris
Alfie Hewitt, the #1 seed, is on the board.
Interesting choice there by Oda, going with the swinging volley when I think just a standard stick-it volley might have sufficed. Shrugs it off.
Confidence and there's overconfidence, but he's 4-1 up.
He rides a fine line on that, and yeah, I think that's part of what it takes to get to this level. You have to have unwavering doubt.
And that was just on the right side of confidence and overconfidence, wasn't it? There was a lot of confidence in that shot coming in and then right on the baseline.
We'll talk about commitment with players and be committed to your shots. Both of these guys, to their credit, they commit, and that was on display there from Oda.
It's a huge game for Alfie Hewitt. He's got to break back. Can he get a hold?
Yeah, he's done the job on one side, desperately needs to do it on the other. And this has been the trouble side. And it's one thing to get those breaks of serve, but boy, to hold when you've struggled like he has so far.
Particularly if he does have some sort of muscle problem, upper body, the stretch on the service as well isn't going to help him. Right idea, wrong execution. He seems to be moving reasonably freely.
Yeah, I don't really get any indications that he's suffering or that he's really concerned, overly concerned. Looks like he's kind of dismissed whatever it was, and he's back to at least physically normal.
2 break points, though, for Oda to make it 5-1.
Big pressure here on this second serve. Yes, you know what's coming.
Decent, deep second service.
Yeah, he fights off one. Still got some work to do here. I don't suppose Oda will make it any easier on him. Just butt one back. Not his style.
You could see Oda desperate to come in and telling himself, no, I shouldn't be at the net now. Back he went and then went, oh, you know what, I'm still going to come into the net.
Well, he shortened his recovery there. He looked to be a little bit aggressive, didn't get that approach into the corner and stretch Hewitt out. Hewitt getting too good a look, too much space.
So that's 2 break points saved.
Big, really big.
Decent second service, but what a return from Oda.
Off the racket, you're looking to see the height of the ball, and you think, that looks like that's flying, but you can't really pick up on the tremendous amount of spin that he generates, especially off that backhand side. That ball just dives down into the court.
Break point number 3. And it almost worked against Alfie Hewitt there. A good first service, but returned with interest by Oda. He breaks again and will now serve for the first set.
There is ill intent on every ball that Oda Takita hits. He just is looking to inflict pain on his opponents with every shot that he hits. And it's been successful so far here in the opening set here of the gold medal match.
Victory belongs to the most tenacious, is what it says on the other side of Philippe Chatrier Court. Opiniâtre for me is stubborn, and let's see how stubborn Alfie Hewitt can be.
Right. Sometimes you surprise yourself when you guess right, and you just all of a sudden you're like, I guessed right, I guess it's done now, and no, you still got to execute. Oda not able to in that moment.
Yes, there's nothing worse than thinking, oh, I'm not going to have a shot here. Oh, right, it's come straight to me, and I've made the wrong decision. What a great second service. It was 120 kilometers per hour, so not the biggest, but right into the corner.
There's a phrase used in sports called a live arm, whether it's a pitcher in baseball or a spiker in volleyball, a hitter in volleyball. Oda has a live arm on that left side, and it's just fluid, and it whips and creates a lot of action.
Hewitt read that one very nicely.
Yeah, he's kind of finding the range on the return game, so he's leveled the playing field a little bit in that department. It just continues to be the concern on the Oda return games, on the Hewitt service games. Right now, Alfie's been getting good looks on the return game.
Coming in again, being aggressive, and Hewitt saw him coming in, hit the ball in at his wheels, and now he's got a break point.
Yeah, the approach of taking away time from your opponent sometimes bites you by taking away time from yourself. And we'll see the mishits that come in that approach sometimes. So up there.
Hewitt fights back, he breaks back and stays alive in this first set, but in 2 minutes' time, he will have to serve to stay alive. It's 2-5, Oda leading. Alfie Hewitt serving 2-5 down, serving to stay alive in this first set. I was tempted to say that was an excellent second service, and it tried to be an excellent second service, but just went too long, and an inch is as good as a mile if it's outside the service box.
Yeah, only his third double fault, and I say only, that's more than he would probably prefer, but the bigger concern is his first serve percentage. I'll get into that in a minute.
So he got that first service in,
but still not up above 50%, and he certainly would want to be well above that against a guy like Oda, whose return game has been on point here today. He gets a good look at second serves, he's going to dominate this return game. Alfie's got to get that first serve percentage in order.
So there's the solution for him. We saw how well it worked in the last point. Alfie shrugs his shoulders there and says, well, I got my first service in like you told me to, Paul, but...
He's only winning 20% of his first serve points, though. That's the other one. So this return game of Oda is a dominant part of his game.
As if to illustrate that 114km/h first service, and that's not going to get you very far at this level in a gold medal match. 15-40, 2 break points, and that means 2 set points for Oda.
He's actually winning a higher percentage on his second service, believe it or not, which is crazy.
And that one just clips the line. Absolute perfection for Oda, who takes the first set. 6-2 in 46 minutes. It was probably half an hour of play and 15 minutes of medical timeouts. But either way, Oda is first on the board, takes the opening set.
That was a return of serve clinic from Oda Takito. I mean, in that entirety of that set, there's the numbers. Total winners really starting to stack up in favor of Oda, as he has been relentless from start to finish.
77% of receiving points won from Oda. So that's it. His receiving game is absolutely, as you say, on point today. The roof open here on Philippe Chatrier Court as we take a look back at the highlights of the first set, and most of the highlights came from the man in red at the top of your screen. A little bit disappointing that in the opening game,
that's the wince moment right there.
And then we ended up having a significant break. It was a good 15 minutes or so of medical timeout for Alfie Hewitt. When he came back out, he was already a game down. By the time he got into a little bit of a rhythm, particularly on his return game, Hewitt, then he was already in trouble on the scoreboard. And we had a few decent rallies, but most of the time it was Oda keeping the point short, and his service returns have been absolutely just like that all the way through.
That's a punctuation to a really impressive set right there by Oda Takito. Really dominant first set.
The 18-year-old is halfway towards a gold medal. Plenty of Japanese gold medals in men's wheelchair tennis. Kunieda Shinigo, the man who got us underway in this session, won 3 of them, and now the young pretender is just 1 set away from emulating him.
Very much looking like an heir apparent right now. One game here for Hewitt, and I think he might be preferring that it's on his return. One game to get on the board, make Oda chase instead of being the leader in the clubhouse. That could be a big difference here in the second set. Psychologically for Hewitt, critical to get on the board, get on top and be in that position.
How about that one? It was almost 45 degrees behind Oda there. The lefty on the backhand.
He carved that slice out. Haven't seen a lot of those from him, but he looked equally comfortable there as he has with the topspin backhand. As I said, complete player.
He's got to come in, he's got to be aggressive.
Yeah, sense some good energy from Alfie Hewitt right now, and he knows the importance of this first game. And getting this possible break here would be monumental for him, really. He's got good energy here flowing in this first game of the second set.
He's got a fair bit of the crowd behind him as well. Great service, good return, but the +1 there, that down the line from Oda.
Devastating. Yep. That says it all right there. No words necessary.
That really was a... Can't do a lot about that, can I? He's probably thinking, where's Gordon Reid when I need him? This is, you take that line. Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's a look on the faces of many of the opponents on the opposite side of Alfie Hewitt oftentimes.
Oh, that one clips the line.
And the left-hander is hitting that serve. Alfie's going to have the chair umpire take a look at it. Seemed to be good, though. Looked very good.
Yeah, the flat palm is the sign that says in. And then the raised hands is the sign that says, I'm the 18-year-old young pretender. I intend to be out here playing an air guitar solo on my racket in 20 or 25 minutes time. So give me some loving. Huge depth of return there by Hewitt.
Yeah, no choice from Oda but to bump that one back. Hewitt having all sorts of time to line up the winner. Staying with that serve out to the forehand side there.
Depth of return again. Right back at the wheels of his opponent. That's a break point for Hewitt.
Interesting to see. He's been going almost repeatedly to the backhand here. Hewitt, I wonder if he'll try to bring something up the tee and catch him at some point here on this hand side. A little bit more body that time. Did not allow Hewitt to get extended off the backhand. Tied him up just enough to get a much better look at that +1.
It's really good tennis all round.
Yeah, Oda looking to take pages out of the top servers in the ATP game, top of the men's game. You serve out wide, you serve up the tee, you stretch your opponent out on either side. Good things happen.
That's huge. That's absolutely huge. It's a huge shot, a huge point, and a huge hold for Oda. He leads by a set and 1 love.
almost exclusively been going down the line with that forehand. This one, he crushes cross court, showing Hewitt, I'm not afraid to go either direction.
Well, he's got Hewitt where he wants him, and that is Hewitt looking around at his coaches going, what the heck do I do?
It's a tough spot for a player. It's also a tough spot for coaches because, again, how much information can you deliver? Can you keep it simple but be of substance? And it's a tough spot for the whole team.
Easier for those coaches there. Their job's a little bit easier at this precise moment.
It's kind of like roses for that man right there. I think the only fear you would have if I'm coaching Oda is his level of overconfidence. Does he just get too ramped up and trusting his immense talents that he overplays sometimes and goes into a cold patch? But he's showing good discipline here.
Yeah, there's Oda confidence and there's overconfidence, and the Oda confidence it seems to work very well.
He's got every reason to be confident with the successes that he's had at such a young age. It doesn't matter how old he is. He's put the pieces of the puzzle together. But 2 missed returns here so far, again. Hewitt looking for anything and everything, so he'll take all of those. And the problem with when you're playing a player like Oda, so when you get your first look, I mean, he's blasting balls past you. When you finally get a look, you feel like you got to do so much with it that you're ramped up yourself, and then you overhit, error comes, and it's a snowball effect. So right now, that's what's happening down for Hewitt.
That's the problem. As you say, you think, I've got to take every chance that comes my way. I'm going to have to gamble a little bit. I'm going to have to cheat a little bit on the services. Can I just clip the line? They've got to be absolutely perfect. And if it's an inch longer than perfect, then double fault, break point.
Tennis players want to typically try to be relentlessly good. They don't want to really have to try to create great. There's moments when you can produce great, but you don't want to have to try to sustain great. And a player like Oda right now is putting Hewitt into a position where he almost feels like I have to be great with every ball. That is a tough way to play the game of tennis, because greatness is for moments, not for sustainability. Tough spot for Hewitt.
Got himself back to juice, though.
Yeah, the lengthier the service games go for Hewitt, the better. Because sometimes they were just clicking off rapid fire for Oda.
And there's a little bit of a gift for Hewitt. Oda way in there. He was inside the service box.
Very short second serve. I mean, Hewitt saying, all right, I can't afford the double here. I got to get this in. And it was short in the box. And that would be one that is normally punished, but a gift. See if Hewitt can take advantage here. He really needs to.
Point for a hold. And he does indeed hold. A pump of the fist from Alfie Hewitt.
And there was a moment of greatness. That backhand up the line right here. That was a moment. One shot. That's what he needed in the moment. He got it. He was able to produce it. A huge hold for Hewitt.
Hewitt would have liked to break, but he would have loved to hold, and that's exactly what he's got here. So, can he now put pressure on the Oda service?
Great view and great look at the velocity of that serve going in there to the Hewitt backhand, and then the finishing touch off the forehand side from Oda. An impressive look right there.
Well, you saw him beautifully just pick it up off his wheels, flick it over. Hewitt trying to come around and take that on the forehand and didn't have enough room to do it.
Oda doing a great job of getting his mobility created in that point off the Hewitt return. He was in good motion, got some fluidity going on the wheels. He was able to line up that forehand, force the error there.
Didn't have time for a push there.
Talked about pace of play earlier. Both of these players play at a pretty rapid pace, and that typically favors the person who's winning. Things are going well, keep the pace of play flowing. Oda does a great job, never letting Hewitt really get time to think about things here.
Barely time for the ball kids to pick up the ball. Second service. That one kicked off the tape and then went out, so it's a double fault. Uncharacteristic for him.
Yeah, only 2 in the match so far. I think he'll dismiss that rather quickly. He's on the good side. Lefties typically love. Happy place here.
Happy indeed, puts it away. Could be nervous times there, but he puts it away. Calm, aplomb, and it's 2-1. We've had 3 holds in a row in this second set.
Hewitt doing a great job to track that one down. They can hit another ball. Hits it clean.
Profitez du service de description et du commentaire en direct disponible 8 fois connecté sur l'application officielle Paris 2024.
The crowd up and about here at Roland Garros Stadium, Philippe Chatrier Court. The roof is open, and the men's gold medal match is underway, and it's a bit of a tough job for chair umpire Luca Laughero to get them to calm down as Alfie Hewitt serves 1-2 down. Good service in the end. He aborted a couple of ball tosses.
Yeah, a while back we talked about the statistics for Hewitt in the first serve department. He's up to 61% now. That's the difference. He was down below 50, and now he's taken care of that first serve percentage. You're starting to see the benefits of that for him. A bit of a jaw with his team. Part of it's just getting some of the frustrations out. Sometimes it really isn't a conversation. It's just more of a, I'll talk at you for a second. You
yes,
guys need to listen.
I was letting off steam. There was a lot of steam coming out, probably coming out of his ears, and getting a little bit frustrated with the crowd as well. A wry smile there, as if to say, well, look, I clipped the line. You're not allowed to do it as well.
Right, he got away with one there, a little bit off the frame on that one from Oda. That didn't exactly look pure, but nonetheless effective.
Chair umpire asking the crowd for the best of order. Good service from Hewitt, saw him coming. Reminder that we've had 3 holds of service in this second set. Hewitt looking to make it 4, 30 all. Oh, when it's going right, isn't it?
Boy, yeah, he's just unleashing all sorts of weaponry in different capacities. Now we see that one. First time today we've seen that approach on a return to serve option. Carves that one down the line.
Hewitt refusing to back down.
Talked about what a great competitor he is, and again, you don't get to win 9 Grand Slams by not being an ultimate competitor. He's been in some wars in some of those Grand Slams, and he is a big-time player in big-time moments, so he will not back down for not a second. Second time in a row we've seen that approach off the forehand return with Oda. Slice forehand there. That ball sits and skids and goes.
Another break point for the number 2 seed. Saw him coming there and put that one in the corner.
There. Something was weird. He came in and then he tried to recover, and then he wasn't in any type of position at all to be ready for that return. And this is a little bit of an unfocused moment I'm sensing here from Oda.
Well, there he was going back and doing the rounds as if Hewitt had aborted his ball toss.
See, there's the unfocus right now. And that's where the unforced error comes from. And just a little bit of a lapse right now from Oda.
Well, he is known to have lapses. How long will this lapse last?
I've known a few 18-year-olds in my life that have had lapses. Yeah, they do come. Got an 18-year-old in the house. Love you, Danny boy, but he has lapses once in a while. Should expect it from any normal kid to be 18. Or to be 18 again.
My 18-year-old never lapses. Honest.
No, of course not, right? Again, the Hewitt service games lengthening out. Back and forth more now.
Oh, now there was a lapse Not from the 18-year-old, but from the 26-year-old. But it was what you were saying earlier, Paul. You think, I've got an opportunity here. He's hit a ball that I can put away. I've got to put it away.
Yeah, I'm surprised at the choice there. I mean, it's right through the middle. It really didn't look like it had a whole lot of purpose, whether it was going to be cross or line or try to create some angle. Just overhit it. And that's a big mistake right there that could cost him.
Break point number 3.
Yep, this would be devastating. Oda just missing in relief from the Hewitt camp, and Hewitt in particular.
Well, it was an inch or two away from being 3-1. As it is, Hewitt lives to fight another day. It's one of those unforced errors that's actually a forced error. Or they're forcing Hewitt to try to pass him there.
Yep, and that is the relentless attack that he provides and has been sticking with his game plan, and he just keeps coming. And you may know that he's coming, and you got to deal with it.
Break point number 4 in this game.
You know, I sometimes think when players are as talented as Oda is, this is going to sound crazy, but they get a little bored sometimes. And he had his way with Hewitt, kind of structurally just dismantled him in the first set. It looks like all the different variety that we've seen here in the second set, he's not as relentless with his game plan as he was in the first. Now a few more errors starting to mount.
Now you're telling me 18-year-olds get bored easily.
I mean, he has so many weapons at his command, and I think he likes to be a showman, and he's like, I want to put him on display. Sometimes that gets you out of rhythm.
Yeah, just win easy. Yeah.
I mean, those were returns that he was just putting in routinely in the first set. And now, because of the variety and the change-ups and things like that, he's a little bit off.
Well, earlier, everything was hitting the line. They probably didn't need to hit the line. It could have been a foot or so inside the line. And now it's a couple of inches the wrong side.
Yeah, I can tell you the one thing he does not want to do is let Alfie Hewitt hang around and let him get in this set and stay in it deeper here.
Hewitt looking to make it 4 holds in a row in this set.
That's back to basics right there. And again, that's not near the line. That's just well struck. Good command of that shot right there. That's what he needs to get back to. That's what got him that first set so handily.
Hewitt's almost the one who needs to paint the lines at the moment because he, as you were saying, he needs to be great. Whereas at the moment, Oda just needs to be consistently good. Great points.
That's a point straight out of the book of the great one, Shingo Kunieda. On defense, shifting to offense, neutralizing, defending here, and right to offense in the moment. He perfected that craft when he came on the scene and started dominating back in the early 2000s. starting in Beijing in 2008 when he got his first gold. Transformed the game.
Oh, hello, Alfie Hewitt. The world #1 says, don't write me off just yet.
There we go. Crowd engaged, love it. And that's just an appreciation for great tennis. And that return right there is phenomenal.
And it's worth a round of applause.
Talent respecting talent right there.
Groundhog Day? I'm sure I've seen that point before, about 2 minutes ago.
He's starting to find the range on that serve, kind of tying Oda up a little bit. Oda not able to get through that forehand at all. And so Hewitt's finding a little bit of some of the answers he didn't have in the first set. Getting enough volume now.
The crowd gasping with every shot.
Oda working Hewitt side to side. Hewitt doing the work.
Working the crowd, working the room.
Again, one of the longer rallies. We haven't seen many, and it's really fun to watch these guys tactically employ their craft here as opposed to the one-shot wonders that they are oftentimes.
It's like the opening game of the match. That went to 16 points. This one, I think, has gone even longer.
Kind of falling into one of those momentum swinger games. 2-2, we're in a match, 3-1, and Hewitt's wondering, what do I have to do? Big momentum swinging game right here.
Hewitt with a point for a hole to make it 2-all. You almost think on a second service it might give him a better chance. It might be a toss of a coin. Is it going to be a winner or an unforced error from Oda? It's a winner.
Yeah, you get the sense that Oda's over there like a tiger in a cage, just waiting for the trainer to come by with a big old pile of meat to feed him. And he got fed on that one.
Okay, so Hewitt wins from the juice court. Oda wins from the hat court. Something's got to change at some point. And you'd say that Oda needs to show a little bit more patience. Try to tell him to have patience now, though, with a second service coming.
See if he adjusts any type of an approach angle just to get a little bit different look, a different picture. Better extension.
And yet the decision-making was just wrong there, and that was a lovely lob from Alfie Hewitt.
Yeah, he just didn't have any choice there but to dig that one out. It ended up short. Hewitt pounced, knew exactly what to do. The dance continues.
Right, okay, so no ad. Receiver chooses which side. Let's.
Well, that's the beauty of no ad. It's the pain of that 1 point, or the just lengthy torment of these long deuce games. They wear on you mentally. Sometimes you can shrug off the no ad point. It's over, it's done, pull the Band-Aid off. This one here, this one is...
If you lose a game after 10 deuces, then you...
Yeah, it has a lasting effect. It's impactful on the match. Couldn't ask for a better look. I get the sense that if Hewitt wins this game, I'm not convinced that he's going on to take the set. If Oda can somehow get it back to deuce once again, fight through the deuce point, get it at ad point, win the game, go 3-1, I would have to think smooth sailing from Oda from that point on. That's where we're at with this. That's my sense of it right now.
Hewitt holds a huge hold, and doesn't the world #1 know it? And he's playing with the crowd now.
Much more important for Hewitt. He knows it. I think Oda knows it. Oda will probably settle down and relax. He's still fine, but Hewitt needed that game right there.
2 games on.
4 holds in a row. But not, some holds are more equal than others.
You have to question how much energy did he have to expend to get that hold. And now what is the answer from Oda? He just never really seems to be concerned about anything.
Well, this will be a very, very interesting service game from Oda. Does he rattle through it in a matter of seconds? Or can Hewitt rattle him mentally? A reminder that in wheelchair tennis, you tend to break more than you hold. And we've had 4 holds of service in a row.
Well, there's just so much mental energy. There's physical energy, and then there's mental energy. And there was so much mental energy expended, I think, especially from Hewitt in that last game. How much does he have right now? You saw an early return to serve error. Now a quick winner from Oda. Things are ticking off quickly. Much needed from Hewitt right there.
.40-15. The points seem so much quicker when they're not juice, ad, and there's so much hanging on every single one. There's plenty hanging on this point coming up now, though.
That was a much more workmanlike point from Oda there. Stringing together just good quality, high percentage shots.
Oh, that was a good return from Alfie Hewitt. Exactly the right place to put it, right at the wheels of Oda. Did incredibly well to get out of the way, get a racket on it.
It's a shot he likes. Not able to execute in the moment. Great job by Hewitt hanging in there. Getting it to deuce after an early lead there for Oda. Can he steal this game, possibly?
Calmly done. We've seen a few unforced errors creep in over the last 15 minutes or so, and the 15 minutes has only encompassed 1.5 games. Huge hold, a huge hold for Oda, and he leads by a set and 3 games to 2. All of a sudden, Alfie Hewitt finds himself serving again. He managed to hold last time out, and it took him 15 minutes round the houses. There's a roar from Oda every time he wins a point that goes beyond 3 or 4 shots. He realizes that he's getting closer to a gold medal here.
He's had command of the one-shot points. It's been the sustained rallies that have been 50-50, so he knows the importance of those. That's the kind of rally that Hewitt wants to get in. Getting into a little bit more of a tactical battle as opposed to just a slugfest in the middle of the ring. I think that favors Oda. The tactical battle could possibly level the playing field for Hewitt. Unlike the last game, this is a quick 2 points here. We'll see how it continues to unfold.
Good service, very good service from Alfie Hewitt. Great positioning. So love 30 in the blink of an eye. Back to 30 all in the blink of an eye.
The whole playing field seems to start to be leveling out. Obviously, at 2 serving 3, it's a pretty level playing field on serve here in the second set. That's the sense of it on the court right now. Pretty even match. You mentioned earlier, those are the ones that were finding the line for Oda in the first set, which is why he cruised so easily now. Just a few misses here.
Well, Oda had a quick-ish hold. Is Hewitt going to get an even quicker one? Are we going to have 6 holds of service in the first half of this set? We are indeed 3 apiece.
And that's a fully engaged Alfie Hewitt right now. Again, tactical point here. And there's the roar. the world #1. Giving it right back to Oda.
The crowd on the edge of their seats here on court Philippe Chatrier. Pressure now on the Oda service. One thing we haven't talked about in a while is Alfie Hewitt's medical timeout, and he obviously that's
thing of the past.
Yeah.
And that's good. That's good. That's what we want. We want that to not have been a factor in this match.
Oh, that was brilliant. He could have waited for a second bounce, but that would have had him going backwards, and he took it. It was a gamble, but he took it low and hit a pure winner down the line.
And that ball landed inside the service box and still penetrated through the court and past Hewitt. That's how much was on that one. Well, we're on our way to 7 straight holds here, and you just really absolutely get the sense somebody gets the break and it's over. And obviously it's setting up that way right now.
Reminder that if it's 6 apiece, we will go to a tiebreaker, and if it's 1 set all, we will go to a third set, and it will be a full length, full value third set. There is the 7th hold. Oda leads it by a set and 4 games to 3.
That was a hold at love. That's something we haven't seen in a while. There have been some real battles on all the service games. That one easy for Oda.
Hewitt serving once again. Is he going to be under pressure?
He's had his service game in order here in this second set. From whatever amount of disorder it was in the first set, he has settled it down. And that's a good look right there. He has a look of somebody who is determined to get this thing to 4-all.
He's got the look of a world #1, which is what he is.
Quick hold for Oda now. Great start here for Hewitt.
Oda's making the points quick for him. It's do or die.
He's really got his number on that deuce side. I mean, He's figured out the spots that give Oda problems, and he's hitting them relentlessly.
Great depth of service from the juice court. Juice court on the right, ad court on the left. So he's serving from the ad court at the moment. A hold to love. Barely a minute. Kyrgios-esque.
At the poker table, Oda shoves, Hewitt calls. They're both all in, 4-all here in the second.
New balls for Oda to serve with.
It's going for a new stick here.
You should get players who get into the habit of getting a new racket for new balls, either to serve or receive. Others who like to change one game before. Everyone's got their own little regime.
Forcing Oda to just have to wait just a little bit of a second, too. And you know he wants to get going. So that is an interesting thing, too. I'm not saying it was gamesmanship, but it could have its effect. Nonetheless.
Ball's going to fly through the air a little bit more quickly, so Oda has to be careful that he doesn't overhit. Took that one out of the air, did Alfie Hewitt. And I'm sure if those of you can, well, you don't really have to be an expert lip reader to see that, so our apologies. He knows that that one was there for the taking, and it was love 30 for the taking, and
that's
it's 15-all.
That might be a big one. And I'm starting to see Alfie Hewitt play, we'll just say it, Alfie Hewitt tennis. He is flowing now, hitting cleanly. He's got the look of the world #1 back in his eyes. He was on his heels there in the first set. Now, level playing field.
Double fault. The first one was 99.5 miles per hour.
Any error, mishit, unforced error going to come into play here now down the stretch at 4 games all.
Oh, that clips the line, and it's 2 break points.
Who was it that was hitting the lines in the first set? Oda. Now Hewitt turning the tables.
Eight holds of service in a row, 2 break points. An unforced error, he only needs the one. Alfie Hewitt pumps his fist. He leads 5-4 and will come out and serve for the second set in 2 minutes' time. Crowd getting very excited here.
Fully engaged. I think it was a little lopsided in the first set, and again the injury to Hewitt maybe kind of had everybody questioning what was up with him, but now everything's settled and they are fully engaged, seeing great tennis on display here.
Hewitt serving for the second set.
Hard to explain the struggles that Oda's having on return game on that deuce side. It has just been a real battle for him over there.
Thank you.
You knew he was going to come way in on that one, Oda, and his service return was way long. Alfie Hewitt, the world #1, who had that huge medical timeout after just the first game and looked dead and buried for a while. He now has 3 set points to take us to a decider. And he's only going to need the one. He sits there and strikes a pose and thinks, wow, how on earth have I managed that? But he has managed it. Alfie Hewitt takes the second set, 6-4, in just under an hour, and we are going to a decider.
He managed that with heart, determination, and willpower. And it was an impressive display of that. It was just a matter of who was going to blink first. And in this set, it was Oda. Relentless Hewitt there, mainly on his service games. That was the difference.
14 unforced errors from Oda. 24 winners.
Yeah, he's going to have to clean that up here in this third set. Those free points there are only what emboldened Hewitt.
A reminder that we are going to a full-length third set. There's no match tiebreaker here. We will go the distance in the third set. Highlights from the second, and it was far more balanced throughout. And Alfie Hewitt served well. He realized exactly what to do on service, and he did it. He executed.
It was the 2-1 game, or it was the 1-2 game. Hewitt serving 1-2. That was the difference in this set. He got it to 2-all, and from that point on, he was fully invested in this set. That was the moment it changed.
It was an absolutely thrilling point, and it was the kind that you thought, well, Oda realizes he can win the short ones, but he can also stay in the rallies with Hewitt, and you thought that would have emboldened him. Shots like that. But we had holds of service on both ends throughout. Hewitt was the only one who wasn't broken, though. That was amazing. Hewitt with 5 holds of service and the 1 break, and cruised over the line in the end. It seemed to be Oda snatching at things. So we are going to a decider with the gold medal at stake. It's a 1-set shootout.
An hour ago, Alfie Hewitt was looking at his team, shaking his head as if to say, I have no idea, I have no answers. And now all of a sudden, settled down.
An hour and a half ago, he was having a medical timeout, and we thought this could be it. And he came back on looking a bit forlorn and was out of sorts in the first set. Even at the start of the second set, he was, as you say, jawing at his entourage, saying, "Yeah, what do I do?" And "You haven't got any ideas for me, have you?" Which is what players always do. They put it on their coaches. And now, you would say that he is in the ascendancy going into the third and final set.
We'll see if either one of these players can kind of establish early third set momentum. And I think anybody gets a 2-game spread separation, that would be huge. So we'll see if either one of these players can establish that early going here.
Yes, momentum could be huge. No one really got it in the second set, and then it's like one of those where, I don't know, you're playing soccer and you're the underdog and you think, I don't want to score too early because that'll wake up the opposition. And Alfie Hewitt didn't break too early. He broke in the 9th and held in the 10th, and there we go. Just stole the momentum when it was almost too late to steal it back.
Curious to see what kind of adjustments Oda's going to make on the return game on the deuce side. That has been his Achilles heel in this match so far, certainly in that second set. He does not get that side of the court under control. He's going to continue to struggle here in this third set.
Oda to get us underway in the decider. Third and final set in this gold medal match of the men's wheelchair tennis singles. On court, Philippe Chatrier under a closed roof now. Lights on.
It's about as beautiful a tennis picture as you could ask for right there. Full crowd, third set for a gold medal. Starting to hear the audible gasps from each one of the players as they're starting to tap into their reserves here as we go into the third.
Good tennis from Hewitt, taking the ball early.
I think you're going to see a concerted effort for Hewitt to try to go at that Oda forehand. That's the one that will tend to break down a little bit more.
Hewitt went around that to take it on the forehand, and Oda saw him coming. Clever play from the 18-year-old.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that forehand in particular. Very clean.
Took that one on the rise, out of the air.
Talked about the longer points favoring Hewitt as I'm watching these unfold here. Hewitt continues to stay in a more fluid pattern Oda, chair stops for most of his strokes, then he has to get going from that dead stop. I mean, he's fully committed from a sitting, stopped position. You'll watch Hewitt continuing to flow.
Sent in the wrong way there.
Back behind him, great play there. Forcing him to break momentum.
Alfie Hewitt with the first break point of this deciding set. He was
full of confidence
down
right now. Yeah, he looks really on his game. Things are clicking off both sides. Flowing nicely for Hewitt right now.
Oh, picked up nicely. Clip that up off his wheels.
It's just the first game of the third set, but there's already tension here on this stadium court.
There's the break. And for the first time in this match, the world number one is in the lead. It's one set apiece, and he leads 1-love, a break to the good in the final set.
There's a complete different look in body language from both of these players right now. Hewitt brimming with confidence again. Oda, a little bit of uncertainty on his face for the first time today. Got to pick his energy up. Hewitt's raised his level. Oda needs to answer.
Let's just hope that the painkillers don't wear off for Alfie Hewitt, if indeed he took any. You assume so. Remember that long medical timeout after one game? Seems so long ago now.
Good start there, much needed. Great response on the deuce side here, something that's been sadly missing for Oda. Bolster his confidence. Detailed in the opening, neither one of these guys has been to a third set in a singles match here, so interesting place for both of these players to be at, not having been pushed to a third yet in this competition.
Oda doing Oda things.
Back to first set, Oda. Now he knows he needs to respond right here. It's only early going in the third. He knows he needs to answer.
Every ball from Oda now hitting the line.
I don't think Hewitt can believe that one found the line. He was a little surprised.
Three immediate breakback points.
Merci.
Look up the phrase "a deft touch" in the dictionary, then you will see a photo of that shot.
Be a nice little gif. Hit deft touch. See Alfie Hewitt feathering a backhand angled drop shot winner.
One break point saved. Just fails to clip the line, and we are back level. Well, we went almost an entire second set without breaks of service. One finally came in the 9th game. Here we've had 2 to open the 3rd.
Yeah, those things tend to run in patterns sometimes. You get into what I call a break fast, and they come break, 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 and that's the pattern. In the second set, it was all holds, and we'll see if the break party kind of continues here in the 3rd, or if somebody gets that at critical hold.
We had a break fast, and we can have a break fest. 1-1, 1-1.
No 50.
All level at 4 double faults apiece for the match. As you would expect with 1 set all, 1 game all, we're all tied up in the double fault department as well. Everything even.
Hewitt with his game face on. Knew exactly what to do there, gave himself room to hit that one inside out.
Been going in the other direction predominantly with that forehand. Changes it there. Smart play.
Clipped a line, but the wrong one. Clips the right line that time around. 2 break points for Hewitt.
Alfie Hewitt's body language right now is exactly where you would want it to be in a 3rd set of a gold medal match. He's flowing, he's moving beautifully, elegantly, supreme confidence in all his shots. He is looking very much the world #1 part right now.
There's another break, 3 in a row, and the world #1 Alfie Hewitt has his nose in front. He leads 2-1 in the deciding set. into the deciding set of this gold medal match. The Paris 2024 Paralympics. Wheelchair tennis men's singles. Can Hewitt get a crucial hold?
Second set up as in both guys just determined to hold as that pattern evolved. Now these guys equally determined to get the breaks back.
Good service by Hewitt. Down the tee, followed it up nicely.
I think we're in for high-quality tennis throughout the remainder of this set here, as we would only expect for a gold medal match between world's number 1, world number 2.
We're at a stage where getting to 30-15 on your own service seems huge. The nearer we get to the end,
yeah, each of these individual points seems to be taking on a bigger and higher value every time now. It's not just 1 point. Oh, well, 15-all, 30-15. It's like everyone's almost critical.
that's as poor a point as I have seen Oda play. You'd expect him, he came in on the return and then patted it back to Hewitt. And then that unforced error at the end.
Yeah, not as nearly committed like he was early in the match to just staying on the relentless offensive approach. Almost call it a little bit more tentative from him right now.
Hewitt goes around, takes it on his forehand, puts it into the corner and makes the break. He holds, but he's broken ahead. He leads 3-1.
There's that two-game separation talked about. Which player could possibly establish that early in the third? It's Hewitt. And now Oda taking time to really think about what he's got to do here, which is get a hold. Seemingly almost like a do-or-die hold moment for Oda right now, as early as it is still in the third.
How about that dismissively flicked into the corner?
Yeah, that first point error from Hewitt gave Oda a little bit of confidence there. Swung a little bit more freely there on that point. We don't want to overstate the obvious, but it just feels like 3-2 versus a 4-1 here was just absolutely essential for Oda.
He holds the love in the blink of an eye.
It's really an easy game. Yeah, it's really, you know, this is not a tough sport. People make a lot about it, but no, very easy.
Alfie Hewitt, though, still with his nose in front. He will serve in 2 minutes' time, leading at 3-2 in the final set. Which way is this final set going to go? We had 3 breaks of service, 2 very quick holds. The pressure's now on Alfie Hewitt to hold once again. He leads 3-2. A triple bounce, couldn't quite get there, Oda. Well,
starting to see Hewitt employ that tactic a few more times here, with Oda digging, retreating, trying to defend against the onslaught of the Hewitt ground strokes. Hewitt's smart enough, seeing Oda's back, takes it.
Well, each player using the pace on the ball that the other was giving them there.
A slap from that forehand there by Oda.
Live by the sword, die by the sword. And he's not going to die wondering.
No, he needs to, he can't afford to. He has got to stay on it. That is his best path to gold. He backs off 1 ounce. Hewitt will make him pay for it.
Double faults because the pressure was on. Oda on-rushing, forcing him, even on the first service. Oda forces Hewitt to try to hit it as deep as possible.
3 in the first set for Hewitt. 1 each now, second and third. He's settled that service game down. He's been very good with it.
But now he finds himself 10 points away from a gold medal. He's feeling the pressure.
Doesn't find the line. Those were the ones that were falling in set number 1. The bigger moments. Calling upon his internal just gut check there from Alfie Hewitt. Telling himself, I'm just stronger, I'm just going to be tougher.
Could have been 30-40, it's 40-30.
Hewitt trying to channel his British bulldog. That was just bizarre right there. Oda, I think, expecting that ball to be called out, and then doesn't ask for a challenge, and just left sitting in the middle of the court.
All he could do was loft back a moon ball, and then Alfie Hewitt had all the time and space in the world to put that one away, get a hold and lead 4-2. Huge pressure now on Oda's service.
It's a big-time mental lapse right there from the young 18-year-old. And that might be the one that costs him. He doesn't take that ball for granted, puts the work in. He's just got an easy ball that he can handle. And instead, he's up against it now, down 2 games again.
A little bit of a gimme there for him. Hewitt now the one looking a little bit tight.
Yeah, but even with the miss there and down a couple, he knows he's got the 2-game edge. He's not going to put too much into that. Not going to respond too big. He's got to settle. He needs 1 point here to settle this service game down.
Well played, Alfie Hewitt. There's the patience. There's the experience of the world number one. Waited for the second bounce, picked his spot, and put it right where he wanted to.
Yeah, I'm starting to really get a sense that the 8-year difference between these two is really starting to show through. And again, that's no knock on anybody. Young kid here at 18 that hasn't been in these moments as many times as the 26-year-old.
Love becomes 30 all.
Oda has been able to rely on raw talent to get him here, which he deserves to be here for that. But it's Hewitt who's come through so many battles. 8 extra years of being on the tour and battling starting to pay off.
That was a huge shot there from Oda. And he says, just in case you didn't notice it. Good grief, gets the crowd up and behind him there at 30 all as well. A big hold from Oda. He gets the crowd behind him. He's still behind in this final set, though. Alfie Hewitt leads 4-3 in the decider.
Time.
Alfie Hewitt leads in the final set.
Thank you.
It's on his racket. If he can hold a service twice, then he will be the Paris 2024 Paralympic champion. The Oda confidence is back.
That's more of the first set. Oda there. Complete commitment. Finding the range. This will become very interesting. He gets the break and get this thing to 4-all. Couldn't be a better start here for him on this game. Starting to get into that territory just when you think you got it all figured out. Guess again.
Again, live by the sword, die by the sword. Not often that you see 1, 2, 3 volleys in a row in wheelchair tennis.
You don't get to be #1 in the world in doubles by not having a good reflex volley game. So Hewitt welcoming that exchange.
Yes, doubles gold medalist here, of course. It was as if they let Cord threw Oda off mentally ever so slightly.
Still had a great look at that forehand there and just took a bad approach to it. A little bit too squared up on that ball, shoulders facing the court, tries to work it out from there. Missed opportunity from Oda.
We might as well just start every game at 30 all and go, come on, let's get the nerves going already. Just long, and love 30 goes to 40-30, and he's going to ask the chair umpire Luca Laughero to come out.
Any help there? Pretty convincingly called out. Yeah, blink of an eye, it was love 30, and now 43 in a row there. Hewitt really doing a great job to steady things here. How big of a commitment can Oda make right here on this second serve? Needs to make one.
There is your answer.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Tough job for the chair umpire to keep this crowd in the best of order. Live by the sword, and he's dying by the sword at the moment, Oda. Hewitt muttering to himself, trying to get himself through it. He's 1 point away from restoring the 2-game lead and getting another game closer to that gold medal.
Just misses.
Just out, and Hewitt does indeed lead 5-3. That one must have been so close to the line. Once again, Luca Laughero is asked to come down. He confirms it was out.
Once again, it's the forehand letting Oda down, and I think in the tension moments, you just don't get that hand involved when you're a little bit tense, and it's that hand that's going to finish, give you that little extra tumble and get that ball in. Now it's not tumbling for Oda, and he is in a spot.
He is serving to stay in the match. Alfie Hewitt has 2 bites of the cherry, to receive or to serve for the gold medal. Those shots are just missing the line at the moment. Hewitt took a big cut at that one.
That might have been a dagger hit he delivered there. Momentary relief for Oda.
Serving to save the match. Those first services deserting him at the moment. Hewitt's turned to be a little bit reticent, taking that one on the second bounce, and it ends up nestled at the bottom of the net.
As much as it was flowing, that was one of the more tentative swings we've seen from Hewitt. And he's going to get himself out of that little funk there. Better do it quickly.
That was a shot of someone who realized they were 3 points away from a gold medal.
Well long.
Neither of them wanted to win that point there, did they? They were so nervous, the pair of them. The stakes could not be higher. 30 all. Hewitt now just 2 points away.
Tension on the court, tension in the stands, tension in the coaching boxes, the families. There's just, look at that scoreboard.
Great shot by Hewitt, forces Oda onto a stretch backhand that finds the net. It's gold medal point for the world number one.
Almost had him counted out after game one of the first game of the match. Wondered if he was going to reply and come back and be able to sustain after an injury timeout. Here it is.
Thank you. Merci. Merci.
Tried to win it with a slice drop shot. Well, I think a rally ball would have been a better idea. Oda doesn't mind. He wants the crowd behind him. He lives to fight another day. Back to deuce. How big would a hold here be? How long would the 2-minute change of ends be?
Hasn't been able to connect on that serve on the deuce side in a while. It was there for him early. Hasn't been there of late. Second serve has been strong.
Advantage. Oda.
One gold medal point erased. Now a chance to hold.
Off the frame of the racket. That one lands almost in the second deck. Back to deuce. A wry smile from Hewitt. Who's going to keep their nerve? There's your answer, at least a temporary one.
Advantage. Oda.
18-year-old can't seem to buy a first service at the moment. It looked like it was a decent second service, but Hewitt's not world number one for nothing.
Had to know he was going to go there. He's been really dominant of late with that return up the line. He's going to go to the big spot in the big moment. And trust what's gotten him here. Yes, Alfie Hewitt, another couple of centimeters. The drop shot at gold medal point, and that return there. Work yet to be done. Gold medals don't come cheap.
Oh, the holds. It's a huge, brave hold. But in 2 minutes' time, Alfie Hewitt will serve for the match. He leads 5-4 in the third set. We are deep into the third and final set. It's the gold medal match in the men's singles wheelchair tennis. Alfie Hewitt was not broken at all in the second set. He's only been broken once in the third. He is serving for the gold medal. But if anyone can break him, it's the 18-year-old phenom that is Oda Tokito. Said it before, he's not going to die wondering.
He continues to struggle with that return going in that direction. He's not able to finish it. Better off ripping that thing through the middle, getting on board with the start of a point.
Oh, it's a great service, but a poor follow-up.
Yeah, I think Hewitt's way better served to go cross-court on that and not give Oda a look at the backhand. That's the one he prefers to deal with. Make him hit a forehand there. Easier for a guy like me to pick that out in a moment like this. Man, so much turmoil going through the heads of these two guys right now.
A return winner from the juice side.
It's all about who can get clarity of thought in these big moments right now.
Took his time, put it away. 2 break-back points.
15-14.
Keep the workmanlike attitude here if you want to get to 5-all. Don't take it for granted. Hewitt is not going to go away without a fight.
Thank you.
Oh, it lands on the line.
Number 1, it was a phenomenal second serve that caught Oda off guard. 2, the mishit does, in fact, catch the line, and he is alive for a moment.
A couple of pat rafters, a couple of sorry mates.
Sorry, not sorry.
Still another break point for Oda. We're back level. It's 5-all in the decider. A reminder that if it gets to 6-all, we will have a 1st-to-7, 2 points clear tiebreaker.
That feels like a long way away, doesn't it? 5-all, you'd think maybe that could be here momentarily, but wow. Now a momentum shift to Oda. Already won championship, gold medal point dispatched by Oda. Hewitt lamenting, no doubt. There's that live arm back in play by Oda. Looks to have returned at the right time.
Good return by Hewitt. He's trying to fire himself up.
Yep, and I like the response by Oda. He quickly got on the wheels, created some good energy there. Didn't linger around. Both players peaking right now. I think I love to see this down the stretch. Top of their games.
Hewitt found himself on the wrong side of that one. Wrong chair positioning really to take that one inside out and round on the forehand.
Different look on Oda all of a sudden now, right? Saw that look from Hewitt a little while ago as he soared off and got himself a gold medal point.
How about that?
Thank you.
One all, 5-all, 30-all. It's the sheer speed of it.
And that was one of the cleaner, better forehands we've seen, and he didn't try to massage it out of the court or create angle. He just drove it through the heart of the court. Tied Hewitt up. Smart play by Oda.
(6-5), and you have to say advantage Oda.
Been a while since we've seen the serve +1 intact, and there it was on display from Oda. Monster serve, followed up by the backhand winner.
Oda leads it 6-5. Hewitt will have to come out and serve to stay in the match in 2 minutes' time. Listen to the crowd here on court. Philippe Chatrier at Roland Garros. And if they weren't up and cheering already, then the number 2 seed, Oda Tokito, is encouraging them. He leads 6-5. Hewitt needs to hold service here to take us into a tiebreaker. You know that every shot coming off his racket is going to be an attempted winner.
But he's now cleaner all of a sudden. Again, where it looked like he had lost the forehand, now he's getting clean looks, striking it cleanly once again. It seems to be back, and if it is, that's a problem for Hewitt in the biggest moment.
Oda's turn to be 3 points away. Even if the first one doesn't work, he says, well, I'll try again, and it works on the second one.
Yeah, better commitment, one, to the shot, but two, to the pattern of mobility afterwards that set up the second shot. Didn't linger and expect that that first one was going to be enough. He's committed to the full point. That's a difference.
2 points away. The most flamboyant, smooth and flowing of backhands sets up 3 gold medal points.
Hewitt was wise to have been testing the forehand. Oda answered, decided to change it up, went to the strength of Oda. He delivered.
S'il vous plaît. Thank you.
A big grin on his face. Well, it's Alfie Hewitt's turn to save a match point. A reminder that Oda saved one about 10 minutes ago.
It was a missed drop shot attempt by Alfie Hewitt by about 2 centimeters.
Game, set and match. Oda Tokito, the 18-year-old, falls to the clay here at Roland Garros. He is the Paris 2024 Paralympic champion. He has defeated the world #1 Alfie Hewitt 6-2, 4-6, 7-5 in an absolutely epic final that has lasted 2 hours and 38 minutes. The 18-year-old is on top of the world. Wonderful sporting spirit from Alfie Hewitt. Comes round, gives him a wheel.
Well, that is one thing you will always see from Alfie Hewitt. He is class personified. Even in Oda's moment, he's able to have a perspective. These guys gave this crowd, this Paralympic moment, everything we would ever want in a gold medal match.
Hewitt's holding it together. I think that Oda is overcome by emotion. Enormous credit to Hewitt. Once again, he comes up just short in a gold medal match, but all the headlines have been written by this young man, 18 years old. Oda Tokito, the #2 seed, defeating Alfie Hewitt, the world #1, 6-2, 4-6, 7-5.
18 years and 123 days old, the youngest to ever have achieved this pinnacle of the sport. Planting Ricky Mollier of the Netherlands, who won in '96 in Atlanta. It was celebration time for Team Japan, Team Oda.
This final had absolutely everything. We were worried after 10 or 15 minutes that it was not going to happen. That man there had a long medical timeout. We didn't know whether he was going to be able to come back on. He did come back on, composed himself, came back so strong in the second set. Almost took it in the third, was 5-3 up, had a match point. And that's something that's going to linger with him for a good long while to come.
He absolutely showed why he is the world #1, why he is a champion, why he will be a force in this game going forward. But it is that young man there, Oda, who is just, I think I said it to you, he just built different. At 18, to do what he's done right here in this moment, under these circumstances, the pressure that was clearly evident within the stadium. Everybody could feel it, we could feel it. He answered the bell.
Much along the lines of the women's final, where Diede de Groot ended up coming up short. It's not as if it's been a one-sided final and you think, well, okay, the better person won it on the day. You know that you had the chance there. The chances were there for you to take, and the chance was there for Alfie Hewitt to take a mere 15 minutes ago. That's why he's going to have so many regrets, and he'll be looking at that young man there thinking, good grief, he's only 18 years old. It's not as if he's about to retire.
He's only going to get better. He's only going to continue to mature as a player. As gifted as he is, there's a couple things that he could clean up, but boy, oh boy, in the biggest moments, he delivered. He delivered a service game, and then ultimately to close it out, a big-time return game. The biggest elements of the game of tennis, serve and return, on display there by Oda.
Kamiji Yui upsets the #1 seed in the women's to take gold medal, and then 24 hours later, Oda Tokito does exactly the same.
King of the clay right now. Roland Garros has been good to that young man, and he's been good to the world of wheelchair tennis. He is bringing new life, new energy, new talent, the whole package on display here.
Respecting tennis history as well by falling to his back on the clay.
You want to take some of that clay home with you. You don't ever wash that shirt. That one goes in a case somewhere. You take Roland Garros home with you.
Plus 32 if you take the winners and take off the unforced errors. So it was a plus 32 there for this young man who, that's his style of play. He is going to come out, hit winners. Takes off a wheel and falls to the clay.
Tremendous sign of grace there by Alfie Hewitt to come across the net and embrace the gold medalist as he once again falls short of his quest.
Somebody is going to get a souvenir that has been signed by the champion Oda Tokito. There we can see the losing quarterfinalists, Ekberink, Ude, Reed, Spargaren, and then De La Puente coming up just short in the bronze medal match, and then the bronze, silver and gold medal winners. And of course, very soon we'll be having that medal ceremony. Souvenirs for members of the crowd who've been here in such numbers throughout Paris 2024, the Olympics and the Paralympics. They're going to get a signature, a little bit of the clay on those balls, and a few tears as well from the new champion, Oda Tokito.
The 9 days of the wheelchair tennis competition, just speaking specifically to this event, the fans turned out in droves, sellout crowds, energetic stadium courts. It was everything that these Paralympians would want in an experience, not just as participants, but out here competing for this ultimate prize. Still the greatest prize in wheelchair tennis. Forget the Grand Slams, as big as they are. It's still the Paralympic gold that these players want. And that man right there returns the gold to Japan. Long history of success that they've had with the likes of Miji and Unieda. know if highlights will do this match justice, but we'll get one last look at how we got here.
Huge match that went 2 hours and 38 minutes and almost didn't get going. That was in the very first game, the wince of pain from Alfie Hewitt. He went off court for a good 15 minutes, came back, collected himself. Oda made all the running in the first set, though, that he won 6-2, and you worried that it might be a one-sided final, but Hewitt, showing no ill effects, getting himself back into the game, was untouchable on service in the second set that he took 6-4, and then it was nip and tuck all the way through the third. Hewitt had his nose in front. He had a 2-game lead for much of it. Couldn't quite serve it out, though. 5-3. It was so close. That was when he thought he'd get the biggest chance, and he ended up having that chance at 5-3. There was a drop shot that just didn't quite come off that would have given him the championship. And then 4 games in a row from 3-5 down. He got the swagger back, the 18-year-old did, and found himself returning for the match. We had that wonderful little piece of doubles at the net there. Great volleys. But almost everything for the last couple of games, the last 4 games, it was just pure winners from Oda. And there was the match point to seal the deal.
He got it in order at the most critical time. Might have had the renewed second life after the missed gold medal opportunity from Hewitt on the drop shot that he didn't execute. And Oda